Hello there, this is Steve here in Sydney. Another little chat on LAY GNOSIS and how it links to something quite surprising, the ancient art of dowsing. Now the ancient art of dowsing is not a superstition, it works, it makes money. People find water, lost jewellery, lost objects, all sorts of things. It's been going on in all cultures for as long as humanity has existed. And it's also been used very seriously by the military in the front line of warfare in Vietnam, where US soldiers use divining rods to find, apparently, we are told, booby traps, mines, secret messages in hollowed out bamboo, all sorts of clever tricks. Now, I was asked to look into this and tell you how much it resembles Gnosis. And with absolutely no knowledge of this whatsoever, I was prompted to look into this book. And it took me only 30 minutes to learn something. By holding these two L-shaped copper rods out, this sort of level, directly out in the six-shooter position like this, walking around the house, one soon learns to realise that they wobble around a fair bit. And so you learn to increase your grip to stop the excessive wobble. So that they're fairly steady with your gait, you see. Now, the book said to me, mark a line on the carpet with two objects and walk up to it, asking that you get a physical signal from the rods when you cross over the line. Well, it didn't work for me the first couple of times. And the book said, don't worry about that. Keep doing it over and over. So I started walking around the house and getting the idea of the rods being steady, not influenced by my gait, nor perhaps my left-handedness or anything like that. And I did notice that I could hold them fairly steady, and I wasn't looking at them anymore. I'm walking around the house, and it's a bit like riding a bike, reducing the wobble with your internal feedback systems of your muscle and nervous system, etc. And what happened was that by the time I made 10 circuits of the house and gone back to this little line on the carpet, I had noticed that the left rod started to swing of its own accord. The right one didn't move an inch, right? Didn't move 1 degree as I'm walking about. But the left one started getting twitchy. So I then noticed that each time I went back to the line on the carpet, that it moved more and more, this rod thing you see in my left hand. And ultimately it closed completely on my chest and actually hit me in the chest. Now, this was a dramatic discovery for myself, greatly impressed I was by this happening at all. And it's not going to happen now, is it? That this comes as absolutely no surprise to me whatsoever. The books that talk about dowsing actually use meditational techniques and closely resemble the methods they teach, closely resemble that of remote viewing, where you calm down your left brain with a little bit of a meditational technique, perhaps a prayer, a mantra, or just waiting to clear your mind, and your right brain starts receiving information in a very simple form, a yes or no signal in the rods. And it may also be accompanied by pictures in the mind's eye, so-called intuitions. Now, the fascinating thing about all of these dowsing books is that they talk about a second silent partner intelligence in every living person. Now, realise what this means, a silent partner in everybody. The dowsing books are adamant that everyone can do this. You don't have to be psychic to do it. And they say the proof is in and you can do it yourself. Half an hour with a couple of bent coat hangers and you can do this. They give the second intelligence a whole lot of names. They call it your computer. They'll call it the source. They'll mention on the same page things like, it's all right to think of your favourite deity. That's okay. But what it means is that that second intelligence is sitting there waiting for you to find it and start asking it questions, and it will then start revealing itself to you in the questions. Because by asking a whole lot of questions, you can form a picture of its personality, and it's definitely got them. You can't use these rods to figure out the winning horse or win a lottery, stuff like that. Give me the winning lottery ticket number. It's not going to happen for you. So the intelligence, that the second intelligence, has certainly got some ethics, and you can gradually build up a picture of it, and that's food for thought, isn't it? So what sort of personality has it got? At the moment the rods aren't moving, although there's a twitch in my left one. There it goes. It's making a liar of me now. Look at that. It just did it all by itself. Notice how it happened. It happened because I stopped thinking about it completely. Yes, I was waffling on there. Now, I hope you can see that the intelligence behind that little antic there at the end of that 5-minute segment has its own sense of humour, and it's distinctly different to me. While I'm waffling on about another subject, it suddenly decides to cooperate. Whereas earlier in the video I would have appreciated a demonstration, then it would have been more useful. But this second intelligence within every living human has a definite sense of humour. So do bear that in mind. Don't take any of this too seriously. And just imagine if you were this intelligence and you had such abilities, would you bother cooperating with double-blind studies and silly scientists and clipboards and white coats? I mean, what a silly concept that is. You must always allow that the thing you're investigating may have a sense of humour and may be smarter than you. So just think about that. You'll find if you go into LAY GNOSIS, which is much easier than doing this rod thing, it's installed in you and you get signaling tingles in your hands in just 20 minutes. These will repeat, and with a sense of humour, by the way, and a recognisable sense of humour. And in a week's time you'll start to get mind's eye appearances, messaging dreams, etc. Signalling tingles are wonderful because they give you a verification. They're always totally unexpected. That there's a second intelligence doing this. It's not you, your imagination, or your religious beliefs or anything like that. Because it always catches you unawares, and humour is one of the ways of catching you unawares. It's deeply convincing. I started off in the first half of this video talking about how there are some similarities with meditation techniques used by dowsers in common with remote viewers. They also, the dowsers in particular, practice this for decades, in fact most of their life. And so you'd have to say it's actually a form of gnosis. That's gnosis with a G. That's a technical term for where they all finish up. And they know that you can't handle the idea of knowing there's a living God inside you, so they say to you, oh, it's just a computer. It helps you solve problems. Ha ha. The source is another thing that doesn't excite any distress or emotional derailment of your thought process, right? Oh, you might think of your favourite deity. That's okay, that's okay. So they don't want to scare you off, but that's what these dowsers have all figured out, but they keep it to themselves. And they go to church on Sundays and stuff like that. Full well knowing it doesn't make any damn difference, but they still do it. So, power to them. This is the little book I'm using. It's got the walk around the house training sequence where I went through in half an hour and got a spectacular physical result a number of times, crossing the lines 3, 4, 5 times in a row, and then finally you just saw it on the video. It's available somewhere. It's an old book. I don't sell the book. It's on usual places, you know. This book on dowsing places a big emphasis on asking lots and lots of questions which enable simple monosyllabic answers to be given, yes and no, basically, by these copper rods that swing ever so weakly but discernibly by themselves. And it's really a curiosity chain of questions. So curiosity is always the key for gnosis. So what I'll say to you is that If you've had an interest in dowsing, finding lost objects, etc., and all the other possible things, dowsing for the answers to spiritual questions, can I say to you, you will take most readily and happily to layman's gnosis, lay gnosis we call it. It's all available at truebluehealer.com, and it enables you to get direct physical tingles in your left and right hand without any equipment. This is deviceless dowsing, all right, as well as pictures in your mind's eye and sound and vision. That's the intuitions you may have got while you're doing your dowsing, but they're much clearer, and you also get direct speech inside your head, which you may have had already as a dowser.